Welcome everyone, this is Rediscovering, and this is how I got into Fate. To be completely honest, this video will be slightly different than what you're used to. I don't have a script, I am also extremely tired right now, which is why my voice is probably a lot more dead than usual, but we all love YouTube grinding, and I need to make a video. So, let's start this. So how I got into Fate is actually quite an interesting story. So I initially watched Fate as it was coming out, the Dean version. How long ago? When did it come out? I actually don't remember. It was way long ago. I was basically a kid. I don't even think I was a teenager when I was watching it. Anyway, my memories of it are not that good. Like, I don't actually remember that much from the first time I watched it. So much so that, this is the funny part, I basically watched it, I saw nothing of it, and moved on. This was at the time that I was mostly just watching new anime, and Fate Stay Night just kind of showed up. I mean, it was getting released at the time, so I guess that's why I watched it. Regardless though, at one point, like, after months, maybe a year or two, I was watching on YouTube a video that was like, what was it? Top X female characters in anime, something like that. Man, old YouTube was a different world. But I remember that I was just watching it, and it was just music and pictures passing by, and eventually, like, in the top, I don't know, 10, like, a character, like this woman with purple hair and like this weird purple and black bondage suit shows up. We all know her as Medusa now, or Ryder at the time. She shows up, and by the way, this video doesn't even have like the names of the characters. It literally just number, pictures, and music. Like, it doesn't even name the characters. So she shows up in the screen. I have no idea who she is because the video doesn't tell me who she is. But I'm like, wait, I've seen this character. Where have I seen her? And that was all it took to get me to go to Google and start researching. That alone was all it took. Me recognizing a character, but not being able to know who she was and where I saw her. Regardless though, eventually through Google, I was able to find where Ryder was from, and I watched Fate Stay Night again. Now, the funny part is that I was essentially rewatching Fate Stay Night without knowing that I was rewatching it. As far as I understood, I was watching it for the first time, and I remember specifically the moment I realized that I had watched Fate Stay Night before, which is the moment where Gilgamesh interrupts Saber and Shiro at the park during the night. That's the moment I realized, wait a minute, I've seen this scene before. And after that, I kind of just became... Actually, no, I didn't even become addicted to Fate at that point. So I watched Fate. My second rewatch was a lot better than my first one. I had a positive reaction to the Dean version, and I didn't really have that many issues with it. My big issues, though, were that there were servants that I didn't know who their identity was, and that was bugging me a lot. Like, I didn't know who Ryder was, which was the whole reason why I even got to rewatch the series. I didn't know who Castor was. I had no idea who this Sasaki Kojo was. And there was also Archer. It was like, is he really Shiro? Like, are all the foreshadowing true? Like, is he really Shiro? So I started Googling, trying to see if there's any information, and I end up in a forum where they're telling who these characters are, and obviously when I see them going like, no, 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 writer is Medusa and caster is Medea. I'm like, wait a minute. How do you know for sure? It's like, it's one thing to say, I think it's Medusa. It's another thing to say, no, 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 it's Medusa. It's like that level of confidence means that there needs to be a confirmation. And so eventually I ended up finding that Fate Stay Night was based on a visual novel, which I had no idea. I think that was the first time I ever heard of visual novels too. And basically, I think I downloaded the visual novel because when I learned it had multiple routes, I was like, oh, now I want to know all the story. So I downloaded the game, but I didn't play it, which was the weirdest part. Like, I think I waited like 2 years after I downloaded it. And yes, it was through shady places. Unfortunately, Fate Stay Night is not, especially at the time. Like, maybe nowadays, eventually, it will be localized. But at the time, the concept of localization was just impossible. So yes, I did download it through shady means. You can sue me all you want. You have no proof. But what was it? Right, I downloaded it, and I think like 2 years passed. I have no idea. I have no memory as to why I didn't play it immediately. I think it was just I was never someone who liked reading. Like, books for me was just nightmarish, like very difficult. Supposedly I was hyperactive, and the concept of me sitting down and just being like looking at a screen or a book for God knows how many hours was just dreadful. So the concept of reading a visual novel was like, do I really want to read a digital book? So I think that was what mainly stopped me. So I kind of just didn't play it immediately. I think I waited a few years. Meanwhile, I was just spoiling myself about everything about Fate on Wikipedia, the entire plot. And I think I eventually just decided to read it. Like, how old was I? I think I was 16 at the time. So yes, I did play Fate Stay Night, which was only for adults, when I wasn't technically an adult. So I guess there's that. But hey, what you gonna do? That was a long time ago. And let's be completely honest, as much as these type of materials are for only adults, it's at this age where generally you become interested and you start exploring behind people's back. So it wasn't anything that special, to be completely honest, but yes, I did. So I do admit that I played Fate Stay Night while not being 18 years old. Not that Fate Stay Night has amazing sexual scenes, to be completely honest. I would classify them more as comedy scenes than anything else. But that's a different story. I guess that's taste related. But I think I played it when I was 16 years old, and boy, I think it took me like 2 weeks to complete it. I mean, obviously at the time I was still in school, so most of my day was not free. It was like 8 in the morning and arrive at 8 in the night. Like, what was it? Get up at 8 in the morning? No, earlier than that, because I had to be there at 8, and get home at 8? So wake up 7 a.m., arrive home 8 p.m. I mean, I barely had that much time to play, so I guess it makes sense that it would take me 2 weeks. But I got completely addicted. Like, the game was just like, I spoiled myself for a lot of things, but the game was just not the game. The story was just wow. You know, it was also a very fun. Especially in the beginning, was a very fun because I had watched the Dean version, so I knew what to do. You know, it was like because there's a lot of bad endings in Fate Stay Night, 40 something, I think. and there's a lot of options in the beginning that lead to bad ends. But because I watched the Dean version, I kind of already knew which one wasn't the bad end, but I was curious, and I was like, wait a minute, you meaning to tell me Shiro could have avoided all of this? And I picked so many wrong options on purpose just to see what happens. And oh boy, was it aggressive! Ilya is so scary, Jesus. Oh my god, the getting flat. Well, I think that's like, is that the second bad ending or is that the first one? It's the one where Berserker literally just flats you into a two-dimensional form, except your head, and Ilya just picks up your head and takes it home. Jesus, that was terrifying. Calm down, Ilya. But anyway, the story was pretty good, I have to say. By far, I think that was when I got completely addicted to the Fate universe. I think specifically the Unlimited Blade Works route was the one that really got me hooked. Which is interesting, right? Because nowadays I look at Fate Stay Night and Heaven's Feel for me is the best. I mean, even at the time I did think that Heaven's Feel was the best, but which was, by the way, an unpopular opinion. But Unlimited Blade Works was definitely the one that had the strongest hook on me. Man, the scene with Archer going on his monologue is by far the most chilling moments in Fate Stay Night for me. Like, it is just very well made. Even though it's just Archer talking, it is so chill mode. It is such, it is just so many chills down the spine because of how, like, well done it is. But that's me going on tangents about how much I like Fate, which isn't what this video is about. This video is about how I got into Fate. So yeah, that's kind of how I got into Fate, which is basically Medusa. And I got into Fate because of Medusa. I watched Fate Stay Night for the first time, didn't think of nothing of it. Then I forgot about it, saw a picture of Medusa, was like, who is this? Why do I know this character? And rewatched Fate Stay Night, got more curious about other characters' identities, found out Fate Stay Night visual novel, played it, loved it, and now I'm here. Amazing. But anyway, that's how I got into Fate. A very interesting story, to be honest. But what about you? How did you get into Fate? Were you like me, where you didn't think anything of it at the beginning, and then got hooked to it, or were you hooked to it immediately? Tell me down below in the comment section. Anyway, this is George Gal, and thank you for watching in this much more calm video, I guess. Man, I'm tired. I need to sleep. But anyway, if you enjoy my content, leave a like and subscribe. And also comment down below stuff, I guess. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. Anyway, till next time, bye.